Guys, now the yin to my yang.
She's better at this.
I will introduce the amazing Carmela.
So Dani just went over the things that she wants to leave in the past as far as what we want to leave in 2019. But I'd also like to add to that and say, what can we work on in 2020?
Let's go. Give it to me, baby, because I'm ready. I know you got good
All right,
shit.
number
I learned from you. I'm getting my pen. You ain't got your pen and paper. Y'all stripping.
There's a few things that I want to like just really focus on in 2020. Also personal things for me. I mean, because obviously I kind of have to go based on things that I've experienced because I have the most knowledge about that stuff. I want to challenge you guys to just focus on challenging yourself. And I'm not talking about like risky things, like go try jumping off a building without a parachute.
Please don't.
I'm talking about challenge yourself
Challenge.
to do something out of your comfort zone.
Woo, child.
I'm just trying to work on this year, is that I have lived in this nice little comfortable cozy little box for a long time, you guys, and not being confident enough to step outside that, even though I had all of these things inside me that I
All of
wanted
these
to
talents.
do. And people telling me left and right, you can do this, you can do that. What, like, go do it. And I'm like, I'd rather just stay comfortable. I'd rather stay safe. I've just come to find out that's not the way we were meant to live. We were not.
I agree.
Is this the smart one? You guys, we are created. Hold on. I have the words. Hold on. Just don't say anything. So you guys, we are wired. We are hardwired.
You look great on camera. Just throw that out there. You look amazing.
Thanks.
Do you want to be my girlfriend?
Yeah, for sure. It's the Mandarin absolute right here. This stuff just really gets you. My number one is challenge yourself. Do something for you. Do something outside of your comfort zone. I know for me, I've always lived in this nice little comfortable box, and I've always been really scared.
And you can get addicted to comfort.
It's safe. And I know for me, like, I love living in that space, and you just become stagnant. And I challenge you guys to step outside that box. Put fear aside. I know it's really hard, but you just work towards that, because I guarantee you will never regret it. We are created that way. We are created to be resilient, to be strong, to evolve, to change. And if we don't allow ourselves to get pushed outside of our comfort zones, we will never really realize our full potential.
And like, we're not just here to exist. We're here to not only live, but thrive. Just thrive. Why settle? Why be comfortable?
That's a really good word. I call you the Eddie, like the baby.
Like,
that is my favorite laugh, by the way. I love your laugh.
my
Yes, I love it so much. It makes me so happy. Yes. Number 2. Self-care is so vital to our existence, to ourselves, you guys. I majored in human services, and it was all about, like, because I wanted to be a therapist. I wanted to help people. That was my goal. You learn a lot about people, and you learn a lot about how to navigate through human interactions. One specific instructor of mine, she literally wrote it into our schedule every week that we needed to take a day of self-care. I did write something down about what is self-care, and the thing that I took the most out of the different definitions of what self-care looks like is that it is a conscious act, you guys, of doing something that will essentially refuel you and fill you up.
Yeah.
Self-care is not doing something that's going to overexert yourself and do something for other people to make them feel better. It's really simple, but I think people can kind of get that confused, is that you need to take time out to do something for you, solely for you. And that will eventually make you feel uplifted and give you that energy and that fuel.
Recharge you.
Yeah, it's like going to a gas station and fueling up, you know? So you can go for the long haul.
Yeah.
And, it takes a lot to just exist and to interact with other people and to maintain relationships and take care of responsibilities and also follow your dreams. There's so much energy that we're exerting on a daily basis that we need to make sure that we make a conscious effort to have self-care and to take care of ourselves and not feel bad about it and not apologize for it and to not allow people to make you feel bad for that. Right?
You're preaching.
It's going to give you a sense of balance. It's going to reduce anxiety. And anxiety is a huge issue in our culture
And
today.
you know what? And I can relate to that because I deal with anxiety very heavily.
Yeah.
And people look at me and they go, oh, she's bright and she's bubbly and she's this, that, and third. There's no way she deals with anxiety. It doesn't matter what you look like. It doesn't matter your shape, size, color, age, or religious preference. Like, it doesn't matter. Like, we all deal with it. So I completely agree on that one.
It's big. It's like a huge thing, and I think that a lot of us forget that. And I think that a lot of us think that we're doing self-care when we are actually doing the exact opposite. Like when we're spending time with other people because they want to spend time with us. We in our brains, we might interpret that differently, thinking, well, this is actually self-care. I'm going to do this for them. Because this is what like self-care looks like.
A lot of you who are watching this are gonna go, oh, self-care? Like, everybody knows how to self-care. You put on a face mask, you take a bath. Yeah,
get your nails
this is
done.
self-care. We're not really talking to you because you understand what self-care is, maybe. Maybe you don't. But we're really talking about the people because, you know, some of you who do practice self-care don't realize that there's a lot of people that do not practice self-care. And that's really what this message is for, is the people who have yet to really, you know, comprehend what self-care is, making the effort and making the time for oneself to have these, you know, self-care moments or experiences.
Take 20.
Take 235.
Oh God.
Tell me we're not hilarious that we got one of these. Carmela actually bought one. So what are some self-care, like what are some ways that you practice self-care in your life?
For me, personally, self-care is I enjoy like doing my art. That's therapeutic for me. And in turn, like something therapeutic is going to be something that's fulfilling me. It's giving me something, it's refueling me.
Right.
And so that's something that I do. And I know that that's important to me. Other things that I do for self-care is I go off and run errands by myself. It's different for everybody. So like for me, it is like just going on a drive. Like I also really enjoy my alone time, and it's
valuable. Alone time is valuable. I think a lot of women, unfortunately, and a lot of men. I mean, it doesn't matter who you are. You know, a lot of people forget who they are. They forget the individualistic, amazing uniqueness that comes with everybody as an individual upon birth, and they lose that once they get into a relationship, and they lose themselves into that person. And now you are now putting your fulfillment and your happiness into this human being, and then when that person doesn't meet those expectations, now you're the one suffering or hurting or dealing with it. And Will Smith said it best, you know, for so many years he was, you know, worried about, I find my happiness in this human being. This human being makes or break whether I'm happy or I'm not. And that is just the incorrect way of thinking. It's a horrible mindset to live by. What really we should be living by is the individual in ourselves. Who we are alone in an empty room by our own. Your happiness does not reside in a specific place. It does not reside in a specific being, another human being. It resides first in you, and then you share that happiness and fulfillment with the other person.
You know, you hear a lot of those things thrown around like we are one, and it's like, so we need to act as one at all times, and that's not the case. It's like you're an individual and you bring something to the relationship, and you guys coexist in the relationship. And so in turn, in order for you to coexist in the relationship, you need to take time out for yourself to be fulfilled as the individual and to be fully functional in that dynamic.
And be able to, you know, thrive and survive in the world on your own, whether that person is in your life or not.
No.
It doesn't make or break what kind of future that you have. You have to find that like happiness and fulfillment and joy within your own being and your own state of mind.
Can you imagine the burden that you're putting on that other person about my happiness is all based on what, like, how we function as a couple? Like the burden that you're putting on this person that you love, like everything resides on the cohesion of this dynamic that like I can't exist without you.
Or if you're not giving me what I need to be happy and be fulfilled, then you're a problem. No, baby. It starts with you. You're in control of your emotions and your life choices. What that person gives or doesn't give is either a bonus or detrimental to your health and well-being, and you need to decipher between the two and make that decision.
Okay.
So no, where's your paper, Carmela?
No, yes. You asked for it. And you put this right in front of me and you're like, No, Carmela, not right now.
Okay, good job, Carmela. We need 5 hours. No big deal.
It's cool. The next thing I want to say on my list of what to bring into 2020, you guys, is invest in yourself. I think we do a lot of investing in other people and other things. We again, we're exerting stuff for others, right? We're giving all this energy and we're not giving it to ourselves. We're giving all of this to, our friendships and our relationships, but we're
not giving ourselves the same treatment.
Like, where is
the same care, the same attention,
Absolutely.
the same time,
the same investment. You know what I mean? Invest in yourself, you guys, and have the confidence in yourself that you deserve it. And you are worthy of that investment. Don't let anybody make you feel bad for doing that and taking the time to do that, because you are going to set an amazing example for those around you. You can preach all you want about doing what you love, or everybody should follow their dreams and go after the things that they want in life, but if you're not practicing that in your own life, the weight of your words is nothing.
Now, how would you say that? I just want to chime in here.
Yeah.
I'm not a mother, but how would you share that information with other women who are mothers? Because I do have a lot of friends that are mothers, and they feel like it's not about me anymore. It's about them. And I'm not going to invest in myself because I have a kid. I need to invest in them. My world is now that kid. So how do you practice that in your own life, being a good mother and being attentive to your children in all ways, but also actually investing in yourself?
Yeah, I mean, I can give you an example just with us and what we're doing right here. This is a passion project. This is something that I want to do. I've missed 2 of my kids' school events because I was doing this. And that was a sacrifice.
And you struggled with that because
I did.
You called me and you're like, God, I feel so bad. I'm missing this. I'm missing that.
Yeah.
And it's only 2 events, but you expressed how, am I a bad mom because of this? I just feel bad today.
Yeah. I did not feel bad about it. I continued to feel bad about it. But I think what it is that I know that I am doing something that is bigger than that. It's bigger than missing a poetry reading. It's bigger than missing a little party that they're having. And those things are very important. And I'm not saying that parents that choose to do that over what they want to do in their personal life is wrong. But for me, I'm huge on setting an example for my children. The thing is it doesn't go away. I don't think there's anything that will take away that small feeling of guilt that you're missing something with your kids, because you want to be there, but you have to make sacrifices and you do something. And for me, the way I rationalize it in my mind is that
ask you,
is this emotionally or physically going to harm my children? And if I can reasonably explain that, then there's my answer. I know that I give them enough love and support and communication that's not going to impact the way they feel about themselves. And I think that that's really important for parents, especially, to not feel like just because they have kids that their life is over.
And you have 2 kids. Let's just put that out there. She doesn't have 1 kid. She has 2 kids.
Yep. They're very, very active and very aware of things.
You're also co-parenting with your ex-husband, and there's a lot that comes with that as well. I just want the women out there who do, are like you to go, oh, okay, she has 2 kids, she has an ex-husband, she's co-parenting, she has a new man. She gets it.
Because of my background, because I'm very into, psychology and therapy and just how people, mature emotionally and deal with things.
Right.
I'm super hypersensitive to that when it comes to my kids.
Right.
You can't dictate how your spouse is going to be.
Right.
As much as you wait and as much as you want that, you ultimately are not the decider of that for the power that you have. To the extent that you can actually control, everything else is left up to, something outside of our power.
Right. Totally.
So,
and that's a really good point to also, I think a lot of people don't think that when you're choosing a partner, when you're choosing somebody to spend the rest of your life with, you're not just choosing somebody to be with. You're literally choosing a partner in so many other ways that you're not thinking about when you fall in love and commit and get married to this person.
True.
When you are committing or getting married or what have you to a partner, that person is now making or breaking how you feel every single day for the rest of your life. Now, if you decide to have kids with this partner, that person is now a contributing factor into how your kids perceive the world. And I just feel like we go into love and we go into relationships and partnerships so blindly without thinking of these things. My point is more just taking more of like a conscious focus and putting some attention into who this person is and all aspects of who this person is, how you are and how you guys work together. You need to have these conversations in the beginning of your relationship. You know, you need to talk about religion, you need to talk about political views, you need to talk about school, education. I mean, these are all the things that make you either compatible or not compatible with somebody. You can't forget about your children, because if you do plan or you do hope to have kids one day, these are things that you need to be discussing, because those days are going to come, and that could create a lot of issues and essentially maybe even contribute to the reasons why you're getting a divorce, because you didn't sort these things out in the beginning. For the rest of your life, you have one kid, this one person, they will contribute to that kid's entire life.
So true.
Yeah.
Moving on to the next one. 2020. Okay, 2021.
Wait, should we just start? Let's just
2021.
start from the... This is for next year.
We are motivated planners, okay? Happy 2023, everybody. All right, my last thing for what we should bring into 2020, you guys, is holding our friends accountable and speaking from the heart. It doesn't have to be where you're tearing your friend apart because you don't agree with how they're handling a situation.
Right.
It's about speaking from the heart, coming from a place of compassion, trying to find understanding in why they are the way that they are, if it's something that you don't agree with. Also, holding people accountable for their actions in terms of maybe you see some destructive behavior that they're displaying. This is going to take a lot of courage, but if you see somebody dealing with something, maybe they're dealing with some sort of addiction, it could be a cry for help, you know? Being really mindful of that and just being and taking that step and asking, like, how are you? Are you okay?
Yeah. And not having fear if we don't confront a friend who does have a substance abuse problem or an addictive personality to certain this or that. You know, a lot of the time it's like, oh, it's not my business. And I do agree, there is a time and a place to know when, you know, it is your place. But I don't think there's anything wrong in just sharing some love with your friend and just, you know, hey, you know what, I love you and I care about you. This is something that I've noticed. And some people it works better in a letter. Some people aren't good with, you know, face to face. Whatever it is for you. So we just gotta stop having this fear. I think we all live in this fear-based mentality, and we're so concerned with what other people are gonna think. And it's just fear, and it consumes us to the point that we're not standing up for what we believe in. We're not standing up for what's right. We have all these thoughts, and we're overwhelmed with this, you know, overthinking process of like, I'm just not going to say anything. I don't want to rock the boat. A lot of people don't like confrontation. They don't like drama. Or maybe they're gaining something from this person that they don't want to lose. It could be a selfish
that's a big one.
Situation.
That's a very big one. And I think that's a lot. Yep, has a lot to do
And
with
it really comes down to you as a human being and your compassion for others and your care for other beings. Stop having that fear. Like, we got to release that fear of this person might stop talking to me. But if that person dies because they have an addiction to alcohol or heroin, are you going to regret saying that if they're dead? Or are you going to be grateful that you at least said something and did something to try to help them in that moment? That person still knows. We still have conversations with ourselves at the end of the day. Have you ever heard when people are like, that's okay, because when you lay your head down at night, you're going to remember what I said. You're going to start having some introspective conversation with yourself. It's like, do you want to be that friend, or do you just want to be the friend that just goes... And this is what I think is the big problem in our world, in our society today, is as a culture, we're doing this thing where, oh, it doesn't affect me and I don't care.
It's huge. And I think just knowing and being confident and coming from a good place in you.
Yeah.
You know, because that's what like always helps me is I know that's going to hurt them in a way, but like I know I'm a good friend and I know that I'll be there for them if they ever really needed me, because I know that I'm coming from the heart. And I know that if you understand me and you really know me and you really love me and you really support me, you'll know that.
Right.
Reach out to your friends, you guys. If you see them having a hard time, if you see them struggling, if you're witnessing some behavior that you think is questionable, you're bringing it to their attention, you're finding out more, you're taking that time to understand where they're coming from because you care. And you want to make sure that if it is a cry for help, that you're there for them. Because a lot of times people that are going through things like that, they're not strong enough to ask. They're so caught up in whatever they're doing that they don't even see a problem. It's hard. It's really hard, but I think that just trying to be aware of those things and making sure that you're not benefiting from somebody else's suffering.
Are you benefiting from this person's suffering? That's a deep question you gotta ask yourself.
It is, because I'm sure that we've all been guilty of that in some point.
Absolutely, we're human, we're flawed. I have been. Like I said, the goal of like understanding and communicating, it's once you know, and once you know, make the change.
Come from a place of concern and not criticism. You're not coming to that friend and finding out more so you can judge them and so you can criticize them.
So that's such an impactful.
Yeah, not to make yourself feel better because they're dealing with something and you're going to feel all high and mighty because you can help them and save them. You're really coming from a place of concern. You want to level with them. You really want to like get down in the dirt with them.
Yeah.
You're like, you know what, I'm with you. I'm going to get in the dirt with you. And I want to really feel
that's good
that.
Friendship.
You know?
That's just like what real friendship is about.
It should be. It really should be. I think people do become friends with other people because it feeds their ego.
Yeah,
I feel like I see it.
Oh, for sure. Absolutely.
I can't. Like, it's really hard for me to like
stand by and watch.
To stand by and watch
not
that.
say anything.
So yeah, just really want to like be in that hole with them.
Yeah.
And help them out. Like get down underneath them and push them up out of that hole.
We just need to care more about one another. We need to be compassionate. We need to be understanding. We need to be open. We need to be slow to react.
Oh, wait, can we just stop right there for a second? Be slow to react.
It's difficult.
Gosh.
It's difficult.
That takes a lot of control.
Especially if you got a temper like my little ass.
Sometimes you just got to step back and just listen, right? And just really absorb what the other person is saying or doing or thinking or feeling and not try to be quick to solve. That doesn't mean like you abandon what you think.
No, absolutely
doesn't mean that you have to abandon your own views and your own feelings. That doesn't, just because you're understanding where somebody is at in their life and just because you're understanding their perspective that you happen to not agree with, you don't have to abandon how you feel and what you think.
Yeah.
I think that's a problem that maybe some people have, is that we feel like we need to take a side.
Yeah.
And it's not about taking sides. It's just about understanding each other and moving on and living in that state of, okay, we don't agree.
Yeah.
But that's okay.
As long as they don't cross a line, as long as they don't hurt you, hurt other people, let's let people be.
Exactly.
Guys, it's 2020.
2020.
Happy New Year. Love you guys.
Thank you so much,
Dani and Carmela, to you, yours, your home. We just want to give you guys positivity, love, inspiration, joy, hope. More than anything, hope. You're not alone. You are so worthy and you matter so much. Let's just try to do better, be better, live better. Guys,
as a community, as individuals, as friends, as lovers, as partners, as parents.
Everything. Let's just try to be aware and conscious and make effort and communicate and understand.
Communicate, you guys. Just communicate.
We gotta stop being afraid to talk to each other. Stop being afraid of what you're gonna feel and what you're gonna think and what they're gonna say. It's okay.
It's okay.
Everything's a learning lesson, and like that's what it's all about. You learning? Are you growing? Are you evolving? And if you're not, think about what you're doing in your life, because that's a sign that it's time to fix it up. We love you from Dani and Carmela, aka Heart to Heart. Signing out. Happy